A trader who is right 60% of the time will still, on a long enough timeline, hit 5 straight losses about once every 100 trades. That's not bad luck. That's arithmetic. And if each of those losses is a fifth of your account, the streak that math guarantees will end you. Here's the uncomfortable truth this whole video is built on. Most retail accounts don't blow up from bad trades. They blow up from bet size. Quick note before we go further, this is educational commentary, not personalized financial advice. I'm showing you a process and the math behind it, not telling you what to buy. This matters right now because the tools retail uses have never been more leveraged. Zero-day options, single-stock leverage, prop firm challenges, contracts that can go to zero in an afternoon. The edge you might have on direction is tiny. The damage a single oversized position can do is not. So the question that actually decides whether you survive isn't, is this a good trade? It's how much of me is on this trade. Let's name the wrong belief first, because almost everyone holds it. The story in your head after a blow-up is, I picked the wrong trades. If I'd just been more accurate, I'd be fine. So you go hunting for a better indicator, a better setup, a higher win rate. But watch what happens when we test that belief on the simplest possible case. Take a $100 account and a coin that's rigged in your favor. It pays even money and lands heads 55% of the time. That is a genuinely great edge, better than most professionals ever get. Now bet 40% of your stack on every flip. Feel good, you've got the edge. Run it. The math says you'll almost certainly go broke anyway, because the losing streaks that a 55% coin throws at you are more than a 40% bet can absorb. A positive edge did not save you. The size killed you. Let's make the streak concrete, because your gut refuses to believe how common it is. With a 60% win rate, the chance of 5 losses in a row on any given stretch is roughly 1 in 100. Trade every day and you'll see that streak several times a year. 6 in a row, 7 in a row, they're not black swans, they're Tuesdays. The market isn't targeting you. Random sequences are just clumpier than people expect. If your position size assumes losses come politely spaced out, reality will correct you. Now the part that quietly does the murdering. Drawdown is asymmetric. Lose 10% of your account and you need about 11% to get back to even. Survivable. Lose 50% and you now need a 100% gain just to break even. Lose 80%, you need 400%. The hole doesn't get deeper linearly, it gets steeper. So every oversized loss doesn't just cost you money, it raises the bar for every trade after it. That's the mechanism. Big bets dig holes that good trading can no longer climb out of. Put those two facts together and you get the concept that should live rent-free in your head. Risk of ruin. It's the probability that a string of normal losses drops you below the line where you can't recover. And here's the key insight: risk of ruin depends far more on bet size than on win rate. You can improve your accuracy by a few percent and barely move it. Cut your bet size in half and it can collapse towards zero. Size is the lever, accuracy is the knob. This is why the boring old rule, risk 1 to 2% of your account per trade, isn't caution for its own sake. It's engineered survival. At 1% risk per trade, a 10-trade losing streak costs you about 10% of your account. Painful, fully recoverable, you're still in the game. At 20% risk per trade, that same streak, the one the math guarantees will eventually show up, takes you to nearly nothing. Same trades, same win rate, same market. The only variable that changed was the size, and it changed everything. And notice this cuts against the hero story retail loves. I went all in and it paid off. Sure, this time. Going all in doesn't have a bad expected value on one trade. It has a bad survival value across many. The all-in trader and the 1% trader might have the exact same edge. The difference is the all-in trader only needs to be unlucky once. You are not trying to win a trade. You are trying to still be solvent for trade number 500. Let's ground it in something you actually trade. Say you've got a $5,000 account and you're eyeing a SPY options play. The disciplined move isn't how many contracts can I afford. It's backwards from risk. You decide you'll lose no more than 1%, $50, if the trade fails. That number divided by the distance to your stop tells you the size. Maybe that's 1 contract. Maybe it's 0 and you pass. The position size is an output of your risk, never an input driven by your excitement. This is an example of a process, not a recommendation to make that trade. There's a second-order effect people miss too. Small size doesn't just protect your money, it protects your decisions. When a single trade can't hurt you badly, you hold your rules, you take the stop. You don't revenge trade at 3 p.m. Oversized positions hijack your psychology. Suddenly you're moving stops and hoping because being wrong now actually threatens you. Correct sizing is what makes discipline physically possible. It's not separate from strategy. It is the strategy. So what does a disciplined trader actually do? Three things. First, they define the dollar loss before entry every single time, and it's a small fraction of the account. Second, they let that number determine the size, not the other way around. Third, they assume the losing streak is coming because it is, and they size so that surviving it is automatic, not heroic. They've made ruin nearly impossible, then they let their edge play out over hundreds of trades. Here's the line to carry to the screen tomorrow. You don't blow up from being wrong, you blow up from being big. Win rate is the knob everyone obsesses over. Position size is the lever that actually decides whether you're alive to keep trading. And this transfers far beyond options. It's the same math behind never putting your whole savings in one stock, behind why casinos with a tiny edge never go broke but confident gamblers do. Wherever there's an edge and randomness, the size of the bet, not the quality of the call, decides who survives. If this reframed how you think about risk, subscribe. Paragon Signals is about signal, not hype, and the next videos break down what the options market is actually pricing in. Before you place your next trade, ask the only question that matters for survival. Not am I right, but how much of me is on this? Size it so the streak can't end you. Then go be right slowly.